and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're one.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're one.
Hey.
Name's Esau, the one who sold his birthright for soup. And guess what? Still eating it. Because some of y'all throw shade while trade your dignity for someone who left you on read, so don't judge me. And Jacob? That boy was waiting like a passive-aggressive ex with a bowl of soup and a contract. I was lightheaded and he said, say it, give me your birthright. Look, I didn't even get chicken, okay? It was lentils. Plant-based betrayal. I sold generational wealth for a vegan option. Don't act like you've never flopped. Homeboy dressed up like me, faked my whole vibe, voice cracking and all with the goat fur. And poor dad was like, yep, sounds like Esau. The audacity. I gave up a divine calling for soup, you gave yours up for a DM from someone with a private account. Y'all trade your purpose, you're calling for a situation with no carbs. Same flop, different stew. Bro got the blessing, the land, the legacy, but at least I didn't scam a blind old man using cosplay and goat fur. But go ahead, quote your god of Jacob, I'm chillin'. Everyone's like, did you forgive him? Yeah, after I grilled a goat and remembered I'm still the fine twin. Birthright or not, still hairy, still fed. Say what you want. Esau flopped, Esau failed, blah, blah, but guess what? I'm still eating. And judging by y'all's life choices, so did you. Period.
Oh yeah, ooh Lord, and if you don't give it, you won't get it, that's right. I give her all my love. Hey, run that shit up, Chase.
I came from the streets to the shy, where wicked and evil collide. If it was illegal, we tried ambition to get us a piece of the pie. Had so many demons inside, was dim in the gleam of my eye. Killing my innocence, all of my vision of reading the sign and seeing demise. We've been deprived of basic necessities, that and cocaine, a satanic recipe. Refusing to claim it as destiny, sins of the fatherly children in jeopardy. The family addiction affected me, affliction of prison, the death of me. Not even the thought of my legacy, living in hell, how you hating your pedigree. Been definitely holding the grudge, letting it go cause no hoe is in us. If we don't connect then you know what it was. One West and no cowards is rolling with us. Steps was all in the mud, feeling the pain like salt in the cut. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love, yeah. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. I get an honor to command and Jenna Johanna for being the armor, protecting the message delivered the Abba. Straight from the Father, he gave it to you, ain't making excuse. Though Satan is loose, kept lacing his boots, training and raising the troops. Perfecting the method of 7-1 West in the hands was able to prove. Ain't stressing them niggas 11 can step in the stand and stating the truth. My people could never imagine the hardest of winners you lasted. Extending the realest compassion for niggas that should have been fitted for caskets. How could you ever ignore the nigga who slept on the floor and was ready for war whenever it called? Better this weapon is drawn. Election is sure, edge in this war, front of projects of the Bronx. Now representing the Lord, the water for blessing us all.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot, they like to claim leadership, they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority, they don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop it, ain't shit about. Give a damn what you talk about, don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, and she stop it, and she the prophet. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. Oh, he cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole. Because of the COVID, it feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know there's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, she the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what I'm saying, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, Jeremiah, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, and she the problem. With step, I'm solid for show. For the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pants through the fire. And she the prophets, that baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Plus your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, and she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, and she the give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Yeah, I'm on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers kill for me.
Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Rakatham. Yahweh Shema Thumb. By Shem Yahushua. Preaching officer. I'm one go by Tuesday night brotherhood class. ISUPK under command Johanna since 1969. We've been teaching the truth. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians is the chosen people of God. And our oppressors, the devil Bible speaks of. Before we get started, I want to clap it up for the trooper. Clap it up for the trooper here with me. Real talk. And tonight's class, what we're gonna talk about is how you need to wash your brain from the filth of America. Feel me? Everybody, I mean, the writing's all on the wall with all the stuff going on with Trump, all the stuff going on in the Middle East. You know, it's clear as day that, you know, it's time to get out of the ideal of America and America being right. And proof that people don't understand that they actually brainwashing America. I just got into a fake, little argument with somebody on Instagram just now. You hear me? It was a lady, right? A lady and her two sisters and their kids. And they was going in Florida to go celebrate a birthday party. I'm assuming it's one of the kids' party. So on the way to the party, they get into a car accident and she killed everybody in the car. She killed her, she killed her sisters, and all the kids is dead. Going to go celebrate a birthday party. And I comment under that, we, celebrating the birthdays is a sin. I show them in the Bible. Now I say, according to God, it's a sin. So I show it to him. Ecclesiastes 7:1. He didn't even say like, no, that's not right. He just said, so what? They want to do anyway. You hear me? And because that's America. That's the type of mindset America is trying to raise your children to be in. So where they can do whatever they want to do. And there's no consequences. And then when the consequences come, they're going to just say, oh, man, it was a coincidence. You feel me? I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that everything happened, you feel me, exactly how it's supposed to. You feel me?
Okay.
Like real talk. But if I could, you could go ahead and jump into that first article real quick.
Gotcha. Most feel democracy is threatened and political violence is a major problem.
Right.
Ahead of the July 4th, it's like,
no, Salaki. Now you good, but this was going on right now. July 4th is coming up, and the Democrats and the Republicans is both not feeling too patriotic. Around this time, it's American, American flags everywhere. T-shirts, shorts, Air Force Ones. You ain't really been seeing too much, have you?
right.
Halfway didn't even know the 4th of July was coming, did you? Halfway, most people, even in the world, didn't even know the 4th of July was coming because a lot of people is not feeling too patriotic. They did a study. They did a study on 1,200 people. And that's what we're reading right now.
Ahead of the July 4th holiday and the country's 249th birthday, 3/4 of Americans say democracy is under serious threat, according to a new.
Democracy is under serious threat because that's what the whole country was established on. It was established on democracy because they didn't want a king. That's why they just did the protest, saying a no king protest, because they say Trump is starting to remind them of a king, like in Britain or in England, Russia. You feel me? He's starting to act like more like a king than a president because the democracy is set up to where the president, he cannot just go do whatever he wants. It's a lot of people he got to go through to get it approved. Right. And a lot of people is not really feeling, that this is real democratic,
According to a new NPR PBS News Marist poll, nearly 3/4 also see politically motivated violence as a major problem.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact. But it's been political violence since the country been established. I mean, just look up how many assassination attempts it's been on not just presidents, on senators, just congressmen, mayors, aldermen, just regular activists like Martin Luther King and them. Like real talk. It's since the country been established, everybody's been in danger. Anybody that was political, that got any political power, has been in danger. I mean, they shot Trump in the air. When he was running for president a couple months ago, they shot him in the air. Like the country is built off political motivated violence, though.
The findings
Right,
come
hold
at
on,
a
wait.
time.
And then didn't they kill Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln, honest Abe. I can't tell a lie. That was his motto. That was his slogan. Abraham Lincoln, the one that freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln so-called freed the slaves. But guess what he had to do to free the slaves? He had to go through Congress and get it approved.
Right.
So Abraham Lincoln went through Congress and then they approved it because that's what they was going to do anyway. Like a lot of people say, all the Republicans, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. The Republicans freed the slaves. But everybody black voting Democrat. Let me tell you something. The slaves would have got free regardless. Did you see the what they call it? Politically motivated violence? That was the Civil War.
Right.
The Civil War was politically motivated violence. That is what this country was built off of. When they went to war with Britain for the whole point of 4th of July, 1776, when they signed the Declaration of Independence from Britain, that was politically motivated violence. That is what this country is built off. So how is everybody morale down about the country because of politically motivated violence? That's what the country was built off. You feel me? This is American as apple pie. You feel me? Like real talk.
The findings come at a time of great political volatility. In the midst of Donald Trump's second term as president, the country is polarized and sharply divided. The U.S. is grappling.
No, that's a fact, but it's divided for the same reason it's always been divided. Because the Republicans have an agenda, the Democrats have an agenda, and right now the Republicans is, they winning. They got the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So of course they feel like it's one-sided right now.
The U.S. is grappling with what it means to be American, who is essential, so its story, who belongs, who doesn't, and which direction the country should take. All while Americans are expressing very little faith in its political leadership, the survey finds.
Right. That's why I said they did a survey. They did a survey and found out that the country does not agree with the way the country is going. That's why they voted for Trump. Like this, it's not because of Trump. This is not because of Trump why they feel this way. You feel me? They voted for Trump thinking that he can change. This is something that's how they've been feeling probably for like the last 20 years. For part of the last 20 years, I guarantee you this is how all Americans was feeling. That's why they was so thirsty to get Trump in there. I mean, look at the people that raided the Capitol because they thought they stole the election.
Right.
That was a lot of people that went in the Capitol. That was a lot of people. So that's proof that they've been feeling like this. It ain't just right now after he just won this term. They've been feeling like this.
Marist interviewed 1,381 adults from June 23rd to the 25th. Respondents were reached via text message or online. The survey was available in both English and Spanish. The poll has a plus and minus 2.9 percentage point margin of error. The survey was weighted to reflect the demographic breakdowns in the U.S. Census.
Right. So what it's saying is it's a real low percentage of error, 2.9%.
Right.
Basically saying like the votes is correct. The stuff that we about to read, they basically saying this is correct for people that think maybe it might be off a little bit. It's only a 2.9% chance of margin of error.
Who thinks democracy is threatened? The overwhelming majority of respondents, 76%, said democracy is under serious threat.
Right. 76% of the 1,300 people. And they only did 1,300. It's millions of people in America, and out of the 1,300, 76% said that the democracy is under serious threat. Well, they feel like it's gonna go into like more like a Korean type of country, how Korea is ran, how Russia is ran, stuff like that, how Britain is ran, where it's not a government, it's more so the one leader can do whatever he want to do.
Right. That's statistically unchanged from April of this year, but down significantly from August of 2023, when 87% overall said there was a serious threat to democracy.
Right. So 2 years ago, they did this same survey on different people, and 87% said it was a serious threat. That's why I say this is how they've been feeling. This ain't just start right now. This ain't just start when Trump just got in office. They felt like this under Biden.
Right.
Under Biden, 87% of people thought we was losing the democracy. So now it's actually went down to where it's just 76%. But that's just showing you that this country is really about to fall apart. Because every great kingdom always fell from the inside. If you just do a little research on all the great civilizations, they didn't fall because of some army was just too powerful. They fell from inside first. Then the army overtook them or whatever, or seen that they was weak and they can attack at this time because they weak. But it always start on the inside first. That's how Rome fell. That's how the Roman Empire fell. Real talk. That was the last great civilization before America was birthed. It was the Roman Empire. That's why they had the Renaissance period, where it was basically mean rebirth, where they were trying to rebirth all they white culture back into the earth.
Republicans are largely responsible for the decline, going from 88% saying there was a serious threat, while Democrat Joe Biden was president, down to 50% now.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When the Biden was in office, the Republicans was at 87%. You feel me? They was 87%, and now they down to 57%. They was 88%, now they down to 57%.
Right.
They more comfortable now that they got one of their own in office, and that's how it's been over the last couple presidents. Over the last couple presidents, I want to say around the time George Bush got elected, the son. Around the time George Bush, the son, when he got elected, because he messed up when he started that war in Afghanistan and he killed all them people, kids. He sent all them white people kids over there to die. You feel me? When they was tired of that shit. They was tired of going to war and dying for a country that they thought was great. They thought this country was great, so they wondering why is my sons and daughters got to go over there to die. You hear? That war lasted 20 years in Afghanistan, and they didn't even win. That's the crazy part. They didn't win.
Right.
You feel me? To win a war, you have to complete the objective. You feel me? It can't just be, well, we killed a lot of them. Whoever killed the most people. That's not how you win a war. I don't know if people know it or not. It ain't about how many people you kill. It's about, did you get the objective clear? Did you put the people in place that you need to be put in place so now this country can be ran how you want it to be run? That's how they lost the Vietnam War. It wasn't because the Vietnam killed more people than the Americans. It's because they never gave up. So their agenda, you feel me, never got passed. Same thing with the Korean War. You feel me? They never gave up, so their agenda never got passed. That's what happened in Afghanistan. You feel me? They never got the agenda across. They were just over there for 20 years, just shooting back and forth, and they weren't even fighting the Afghanistan army. They was fighting the people that lived there. Like real talk. That's why I say this been on a decline. The morale that Americans have for their country, land of the free, home of the brave, that shit been done. And it started, like I said, it started with George Bush. And it's been on a decline ever since.
In this most recent poll, 89% of Democrats, 80% of independents, and 57% of Republicans said there is a serious threat to the future of democracy. Respondents did not specify what they see as constituting that threat. And Democrats and Republicans likely have very different reasons for saying so.
Right, of course. But the point is, what we got to do as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians is we got to look at the writing on the wall. You hear me? We got to look at the signs that's around us. You hear what they say? That you got to read the room.
Right.
Yeah, we got to start reading the room and see that, look, this place is about over with. You hear me? They're trying to cut bills and laws. They're trying to change stuff that's been like this since the last 150 years.
Right.
Because they running out of time. They know that their time is up. They running out of time. Like real talk. What they did to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, it ain't gonna go unjust. You hear me? It's not gonna go. They're not gonna go unpunished for what they did. Like real talk, and they know it. And it just that's why they keep trying to dim the light on this war. You feel me? Because they don't want it to look like it's as bad as it really is.
Right.
All right. So yeah, if I could, you go to in the Bible. Let's go to Jeremiah 17 and 9.
Okay. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Right. The heart, that's talking about your mind.
Right.
When it's talking about your heart, is always talking about your mind. You feel me? And your mind is deceitful above all things. Desperately wicked. You feel me? Which basically means your mind only cares about pleasure. You feel me? What pleases you. And we live in a country that the biggest religion in the country, shit, really in the world, is a religion based off pleasure. You feel me? Christianity is based off pleasure. It ain't got nothing to do with what's right, what's morally right. You going to church on Sunday to feel good about the sins you committed because your mind is desperately wicked. It's desperately wicked. You feel me? You know what desperate is? That means it's like you can't live without it. You would do anything for it. And them sins that's been committed in America, people would do anything for it. They would do anything to feed their flesh. And this is what your mind telling you to do. You feel me? And nobody can know it. Nobody can understand why you making these decisions you make, but you. And then when you think on it, you don't even know why. You don't even know why you did the stuff you did. It was just emotional. It was an emotional decision. Because your heart is desperately wicked. Your mind is deceiving you every day. Every day you trying to do this or do that, and your mind telling you to do the opposite. And what you telling yourself is what's going to heal you. That's the spirit. But your mind trying to convince you to do what's fun, what's pleasure.
Right. I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways.
Right, right. So the Lord search the heart. The Lord search your mind. You hear me? The Lord search your mind to see if you with him or not. That's what he do. That's how you get blessed or cursed, because the Lord, he's searching your mind to see what you capable of.
Right.
You feel me? I try the reins. That's like what controls you. The reins is like what you use with a horse to turn it, to stop it and stuff like that. And that's just talking about control. The Lord try what controls you. You feel me? And most people, what controls you is sin. Sin controls most people. You feel me? Because we, like I said, we in this place and our brain is full of filth from America. I mean, then you can't watch a damn TV show without somebody getting bent over.
Okay.
I'm just keeping it real. All these shows and movies now is basically soft porn.
Right.
You get on Instagram, everybody naked. You like, damn. Like real talk. Like this place is desperately wicked.
And according to the fruit of his doings.
Right. And that's what the Lord will do. He will give every man according to his ways. You hear me?
Right.
If you're doing good, he'll give you good for doing it. Because he's searching out your heart. But if you're doing bad, then you're going to get done bad for whatever you're doing. You feel me? And the fruit is just talking about produce. You know, like when you go to the grocery store, you like, I'm
Or
going to the produce aisle. That's talking about the fruit. That's where the fruit at. You feel me? So for whatever you produce, you feel me? That's from what you've done. Good or bad. Whatever you got going on, whatever you're going through, that's came from what you've done. You feel me? The Lord paid you for what you did. Like real talk. And that's what we got to get out of the habit of, because we taught that we could really just do whatever we want to do. You do whatever you want to do and then just look up to the sky and just tell God, I'm sorry. That sound like witchcraft.
right.
I'm gonna just keep it real. That sound wicked as hell. That don't sound like a righteous God. To where you could just do anything you want and then just look up to the sky and say, you know what, I'm sorry. Then wake up and do that shit again. Real talk. But yeah, if I could, you could drop that. Let's go to 2 Peter 2 and 20.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 20. For after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
Right. And that's a fact. Ooh, Salak, let me get this out. Salak. But no, that's a fact. A lot of us, what we do when we find Yahweh Shah Mashiach, not Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, you find Jesus Christ, you found the devil. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
That white boy with the blonde hair and blue eyes, that is the devil the Bible speaks of. You hear me? That is not the Lord and Savior that you thinking about. You hear me? That did all them miracles and all that stuff. That's not the same. That's a totally different person. Like we were just talking about with the Renaissance. During the Renaissance era, after the fall of the Roman Empire, the so-called white man went back into the caves and they turned into third, fourth class citizens under the black people that was in the Byzantine Empire. You hear me? So therefore, when they started the Renaissance period in the 1500s, they made all the prominent people of the past white. And that's where you get the white picture of Jesus Christ from. When that's not him. You feel me? So when we found Yahweh Shah Mashiach, you feel me? The only begotten son of the God of the Bible, or the God of heaven and earth, we escaped the pollutions of the world. We was polluted. You feel me? Before we found the truth, we was polluted. You feel me? Our minds was filled with filth. We woke up every day trying to do more evil. You feel me? You ain't never you roll up out the bed, grab the blunt out the ashtray. You feel me? You don't even know how wicked that is at the time. You think you're doing something right.
Right.
You thinking what you're doing is solid. Wake up 10 o'clock in the morning, you going to the liquor store as soon as they open. You feel me? Like real talk, having sex with any woman that walk past.
Right.
Any woman that'll give you the time of the day. Like real talk. Knowing damn well you would never want to put a baby in this woman for real. Like we was polluted. Like we ain't know no better because we grew up in America. We grew up in Babylon, the great. You feel me? Where all the sins and religions is everything is here. Everything from every great kingdom is right here in America. Everything the Greeks did, the Romans did, the Assyrians, the Egyptians, everything is right here. And the gods that they worship. They all right here in America.
They are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning.
Right. And so this is talking about basically like once if you leave the truth.
Right.
You feel me? If you want to go back into the world that's polluted, that you know is polluted. See, that's the weird thing about going back into the world when you find the truth. Because it's like, what about all the stuff you stood on? Like how you go from, you know, the white man, the devil, you know, can't celebrate birthdays, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, to going back to doing it. Like you have to really, you know, look in the mirror at yourself. Because some people, what they don't understand is some people can't trust themselves. You hear me? That's how some people end up broke. They be stealing from themselves. You hear me? It's like some people end up homeless and stuff like that because they stealing from themselves. If you buying drugs, if you an alcoholic, if you paying for sex, you stealing from yourself, you robbing yourself. And that's how you end up broke. That's how you end up not being able to pay your rent. Homeless, evicted, can't keep a woman. Your kids hate you because you robbing yourself every day. You feel me? Mentally, spiritually, and financially. And that's why it's so stupid to, like, once you find the truth, to go back to living like that. Because you know that you bogus as hell. Like, real talk. Your whole family is looking at you like you stupid.
Right.
Your kids looking at you like you stupid. And you should be looking at yourself like you stupid. Because you said that all this stuff was wrong. You believed that all this stuff was wrong, but now you back doing it. And that's why the Bible say the latter end is worse with them than the beginning. You worse off now than you was before. Like, real talk. You escape the pollutions of the world and then you go back to it. You're gonna be worse off this time than you was the first time. Because now you know the truth and you know it ain't right and you still doing it, which make you double wicked. You feel me? Like, real talk. You keep going all the way to 22.
Okay. Verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. Then, after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them.
Right. See, that's basically just what I was saying.
Right.
You feel me? To, like, you learn the truth. You learn the wickedness of the world and how wicked and evil all that stuff is, the stuff that's going on. You learn how wicked it is and you know it is. You got the proof. You believe it. And then you go right back into doing it. The Bible says it's better you just never knew it because you're going to be worse off. It's better you never knew the truth than to learn the truth and then go back into the world. You feel me? Because the world is filthy. It's filthy. You know, you confessed it. You feel me? You confessed to yourself, to your family, to your friends, to Facebook, to Instagram. You didn't confess under every tree, under every hill that hey, look, that shit was wild. To go back to doing it, you gonna be more filthy than you was before. Them demons is coming back 10 times.
Right.
You feel me? And this ain't the time for that. I mean, it'll never be a time for that. Maybe before, before the writing was on the wall, which is that Christ is on his way back. But I mean, it's a little too late now. You feel me? Like, real talk. And it's time to definitely clean our brains from the filth. Because if you're not in the truth right now, you brainwashed. If you ain't in the truth, you brainwashed. If you ain't, and when I say in the truth, I'm not even saying 100% in the ISUPK. But if you're not following after what we teaching, you feel me? Even behind closed doors, if you ain't following what we saying, you brainwash. Like, really, you out there celebrate. You about to celebrate the 4th of July when we was in slavery. The Native Indians was being genocide. They was committing genocide on the Native Indians in 1776. But you're going to go celebrate the 4th of July. You're going to go eat that barbecue. You should drop dead as soon as you bite a piece of it. As soon as you bite a piece of the barbecue, you should drop dead from a goddamn heart attack.
Right.
If you knew the truth and you turned away from it. If you knew the truth and then you at the 4th of July picnic, eating a damn hamburger and a hot dog, nigga, you should drop dead right then and there. Like, real talk.
But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog is turned to his own vomit again.
Right. And that's a dog will eat his own vomit. A dog will throw up and then eat it.
Right.
That's disgusting. Am I lying?
Lie.
I don't think nobody had never licked their vomit.
And the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mirror.
Right. And a pig that's wallowing in mud. That's talking about like rolling around in mud.
Right.
You feel me? A pig rolling around in mud. That is what The Bible is comparing somebody that learned the truth and turned their back on it. You just like a dog that eats your vomit. Or a damn pig rolling around in the mud. You disgusting. You're a disgusting bastard. You a disgusting creature. And whatever happened to you for that is on you.
Right.
Like real talk. Because what we trying to do is cleanse everybody's brain of the filth of America. And if you run back to it after you find the truth, you was an idiot. I'm just keep it real. You was an idiot and you just like a dog that'll eat his own vomit and a pig rolling around in mud. Oh yeah, so you could drop that. And you can go to Genesis 6 and 12. Yeah, what you gotta understand, because the world is definitely against righteousness. Righteousness is frowned upon. Being righteous nowadays is not a cool look. What people will say.
Right.
You feel me? But righteous is what the Bible would call a real nigga though. You feel me? You want to know about all the real niggas, the realest niggas in the Bible, the realest bitches? They was righteous. They wasn't wicked. Like all the famous people we read about and everybody naming their kids out there, Mark, Matthew, Luke, John. You feel me? The Mexicans, they name their kids Jesus, which is basically Jesus. Like real talk, like all these names is famous names of men that was in the Bible that was righteous. They was real niggas. But now being a real nigga is being evil. Being a real bitch is twerking on the headlight. You feel me? That's what a real bitch is, I guess, in the world.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 12. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
Right. And that's what we living in right now. Right now, we living in the days of Noah.
Right.
Christ said, how you know when he going to be on his way back? It's going to be like the days of Noah. So we reading about what happened. What was going on in the days of Noah was everybody having LLCs and businesses and, you know, taxes and all that stuff. Was the divorce rate low? Was adultery low? You feel me? Was the murder rate low? What was everything good? Nah, because then guess what? We wouldn't be in the days of Noah. If that was the days of Noah say everything's gonna be evil. Everything's gonna be corrupt. It's gonna be nothing but corruption. And that's what we got right now. You can't even let the kids watch YouTube. You know why? Because it go from a motherfucker, little kid singing to a nigga cursing. In the same video, it's little kids playing. You thinking it's all cool. 5 minutes later, you hearing somebody saying ass or bitch. And you like, damn, what is that? Same YouTube channel. Because it's nothing but corruption. Like real talk, everything that is praised is evil right now. This is the days of Noah. If this ain't one, I don't know what could have been. Because righteousness is not praised right now. You're not a real nigga if you righteous right now. You got to be a thief. You got to be a scammer, a drug dealer. Feel me? You got to be doing something wicked. You better not be working a 9 to 5. Because we just found out that the women don't like niggas that work 9 to 5. They'd rather be with a nigga that got no money but claims he an entrepreneur.
Right.
You feel me? The women would rather be with a nigga that ain't got no money, but he says he got 3 businesses. He told her he do, and that's good enough. You know why? Because corruption is what's accepted. Being evil and conniving and wicked is what's accepted. But you being upfront, stand up, it's frowned upon. But what you don't understand about that, which is so heavy though, is that means you being protected by the Lord. Because think about all the stuff you dodge from being a stand-up individual. How much wickedness flee from you because you stand up. You won't do this. You won't do that. You won't take this type of woman. You feel me? You won't take this type of deal, this type of job, this type of hustle. Like you saved from so much headache though. Like real talk, from not wanting to feed into corruption.
Right. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's the days of Noah. The earth, the end of all flesh come before me. That's why I always keep saying everybody is about to die. Everybody is about to die. This is what the Bible said. Christ said the one, this how you know Jesus Christ and Yahushua is two different people. Because everybody say Jesus Christ is coming back to hug you and kiss you in the mouth.
Right.
But everybody know Yahushua is coming back to kill. Everybody knows subconsciously them is two different people.
Right.
They know it. They know it. Because that's not, they know when they think of the death and destruction, they know he black. Because they know what they did to black people was wrong. But when you think about the hugs and the kisses, then everybody that white Jesus come in your mind. Like real talk. But sad to say it, that's not the real Christ. And that's not his mission to come back and kiss you in the mouth. His mission is to come back for it to be the end of all flesh. You know why? Because violence is filled in the earth. The earth is filled with violence. Unrighteously too. It's wicked violence. It's not no good violence, self-defense. None of that.
Right.
It's not filled with self-defense. It's filled with murder, adultery, rape. You feel me? Scamming. That's what it's filled with.
For the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Right, destroy them with the earth. That's what the Lord gonna do. That's what the Lord gonna do. The Lord is gonna destroy the majority of the people on the planet with the earth, man. With the earth. All this stuff that they using to make these bombs, it comes from the earth. This stuff don't come out of thin air. These nukes, all this fire, these weapons, this metal, all this stuff comes from the earth. And the Lord is going to use the earth to destroy these people because this place is wicked. We brainwashed in this place. We brainwashed. The whole earth is in an illusion that they all righteous. The Chinese think they righteous. The Arabs think they righteous. The Israelis think it's their land. The people from Gaza and Palestine think it's their land. You hear me? Everybody thinking they righteous when they not. Everybody thinking they righteous, but they all wicked. All these people with all this money and this land, they all wicked. And the Lord say He gonna kill them all. They all gotta die. We need a fresh start. Like real talk. So you could drop that and go to Jeremiah 31 and 35.
Okay. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Right, the Lord of hosts. That means the Lord of armies. You feel me? All these armies, these militaries you see, He's the Lord of all of them. You feel me?
Right.
He giveth the sun the light, the moon and the stars by night. You feel me? He's the God of heaven and earth. You feel me? He divided the seas. You see the sea, the high waves and roars and the tsunamis, the hurricanes. The Lord do all that. You feel me? And how stupid is we to not listen to what He say? How stupid is we to just do whatever the fuck we want to do? You feel me? And expect no repercussions. You feel me? You got to be brainwashed to think like that. You got to be institutionalized, indoctrinated to wake up every day and commit evil and think you ain't getting no repercussions from it.
Right.
Wake up every day and be a sinner, be a filthy sinner, and think that everything in your life is supposed to be peaches and cream.
If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Right. So when all that stuff stop, you feel me? If the sea don't wave back and forth, the moon and the stars don't shine, the sun don't shine. He said that's the only way Israel will cease from being a nation. You feel me? That's the only way it'll happen. But right now, of course, we got the so-called Jewish man. What he say? He say that Israel is not a nation. You feel me? You go on Google and type in what happened to it, the rest of the tribes. They're gonna say they lost. We don't know where they at. The lost tribes of Israel. We don't know where they at. You talk to a Jewish man, they all gonna say they from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi. What happened to the rest of the tribes? Oh, we don't know. That's how you know they the devil the Bible speaks of. Because this is in their book. Because you know the Jewish man don't believe in the New Testament, but he loved the Old Testament. But in the Old Testament, it say that Israel had never stopped being a nation. So how did you convince the whole earth that they just lost and we don't know where they at? Because they the devil the Bible speaks of. And they not the Jews for real. Because they lying on God saying the 10 tribes is disappeared. We don't know where they at. We don't know who they are. All we know about is the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And that's us in Israel. Man, that's not true. That's not true. Because that's what the Lord said. The Lord say Israel will never depart from being a nation. Those 3 tribes that was left that didn't go into the Assyrian captivity, that's not a nation. That's a tribe. For us to be a nation, we got to be whole. You feel me? All 12 tribes. You feel me? And that's what we did in the ISUPK under Commander Johanna since 1969. We went and found the 12 tribes.
Right.
The Bible say that we would not be a nation again. You feel me? Only if the sun stops shining. Only if the moon and the stars lose their light. Well, last time I checked, the sun is shining bright. You feel me? And I think it was a full moon last night. So if that's the case, then Israel is still a nation.
Right.
It just ain't that nation over there in Israel now.
Right.
Those ain't the real Jews. The real Jews is in the ghettos of America. The real Jews is being deported, being thrown in prison. So they can hide the fact who they are. They can try to hide as long as they could, but the time is coming to an end. You feel me? The time is coming to an end, and ain't nobody gonna believe them after a while. You feel me? I think Putin already put out the Russian icon showing everybody black in the Bible. He did that like last year. He put the Russian icons out. Everybody was going crazy. I don't know why. You feel me? We've been looking at that book for years. We've been telling y'all Christ was black for years. But it took for a white man to show you, for you to want to believe it. Real talk. So you could drop that. Go to Acts 2 and 21.
Okay. It's the book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Right, there go that word, whosoever. That's the Christian's favorite word.
Right.
They say whosoever call on the name of the Lord. They think when they see whosoever, they instantly think of a white man. You hear me? Black people, Hispanics and Native Indians, we so beaten down. Whenever we think about everybody coming together, we don't care nothing about no damn Africans. Yeah, we racist as hell. Black people racist as hell. You know that, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is racist as hell. Because soon as we all want everybody to come together, the only people we think of is white people.
Right.
Well, what about the Africans and the Chinese?
Right.
What about the Somalians and the Arabs? They can't come together with us. But no, because like I said, the so-called white man that beat us down so bad, all we care about pleasing. That's it. We only care about pleasing the white man. The white man need to be saved and we need to forgive him and this and that and that of this. I'm telling you, that's Stockholm syndrome. But let's see what the Bible's saying who could be saved. Who is the whosoever? You keep going.
Ye men of Israel.
Who?
Ye men of Israel.
Ye men of Israel. That's the whosoever. The whosoever call on his name is talking about the ye men of Israel. You know why? Because when we go out and teach, the most people that hate us the most is black people, Hispanics and Native Indians. They don't want to hear the truth if the white man can't be invited to the cookout. If the white man can't be there, they don't want to hear it. If you get to talk about, no, this is only for blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, they don't even want to come. They don't want nothing to do with it. Well, why white people can't come? Why white people ain't invited? You feel me? That come from being a slave for 400 years. That's the trauma. That's that trauma DNA passed down from your great-great-granny now. You feel me? To where they didn't beat you into submission to where if they can't be accepted, you don't even want to be accepted. We go out and tell you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is the chosen people of God, and we the only ones is going to be saved. They don't want to hear it. They're going to say you a hate group. You racist. You feel me? I told you, blacks and Hispanics is the most racist people. Because the only people that they want to be saved is white people. They would rather die with their slave masters than accept the fact that Jesus is black.
Right.
Accept the fact that God is only coming to save blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Black people will rather die with their slave masters. That's why they turn on you. That's why they will turn on you if you tell them white people not accepted. They will turn their back on you because they would rather die with them. They think they a good Christian, a good American. You feel me? They finally being accepted. They finally able to work these jobs they've been fighting for 50 years. And they not finna let some nigga mess it up. They're not finna let some dirty nigga on the corner mess it up for them. They done finally got good with white people, got them a white woman, probably. And you think they finna let you mess it up? Hell no. That's why the Bible say, ye men of Israel, hear these words, because you are the whosoever. It's not for everybody. It's for Israel.
Hear these words, Yahushua of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know.
Right. That's what Christ
Him.
did. Christ did miracles. You feel me? Christ was a black man and he did miracles. You feel me? He did wonders, all approved by the Most High. You feel me? So blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can come back and serve the Lord. That was his whole mission, to get blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians back to loving each other and serving the Lord. But we want white people to be accepted. We want to let white people into the cookout. We want to marry their daughters and stuff like that. Like real talk. So yeah, you could drop that. You go to Matthew 15 and 13.
Okay. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 13. But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up.
Right, shall be rooted out. You feel me? All these philosophies and all this stuff you believe don't mean nothing to the Lord. I don't care how big your congregation is. How many people you got following you on YouTube don't mean nothing to the Lord. I'm just keeping it real with you. I don't care if you got 100,000 subscribers. That's just the Lord setting you up to fall. I don't know if people know how the Lord work. He's like the underdog. The Most High always was. We was the underdog. You feel me? We was the youngest nation on the earth. You feel me? Jacob and Esau is the youngest nations on earth. We walked into Israel. I mean, we walked into Egypt 70 deep. You feel me? It was 70 of us in total. And we came out a nation. Like real talk. The Lord is always with the underdog. He ain't with the ones that's thinking they super big and bad and got numbers and all that stuff. That's not even who the Lord with. Never have been. Not since the history of this planet.
Right.
You feel me? He picked Abraham. Abraham was solo. Abraham, you feel me, won a mighty nation with hella sons and stuff like that. Abraham, he took Abraham out from his father now and chose him and his seed. So yeah, anybody that's thinking they really doing it big, you just gonna get rooted out real soon enough. Soon enough, you're gonna be made a laughing stock. And you know why? Because you got this big ass platform. You got all these subscribers. You get all these views. And you thought you was doing it. You thought that the Lord was with you. Then you ended up like Sakari. That's a prime example. Like Sakari. He thought he got all the views. He thought he was that nigga because he got views. You feel me? And then them same views all turned into 9 people laughing. The same people watching, now they laughing. You feel me? Because they found out that you wasn't really who they thought you was. You feel me? Because you got rooted out. Because if you ain't with the Lord, you getting rooted out. Real talk.
Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind.
Right. Leave them alone. You feel me? Anybody out there say they serving the Lord and you should follow them, let them. Let them do it. Let them do it. Let them build up their congregation. Let them get deep. You feel me? Let them get super deep. They 100 deep, 1,000 deep. They got sisters, brothers, all that. Let them do it. And then they're going to fall. You feel me? They're going to fall. They're going to fall flat on their face.
Right.
Like real talk. And the sad part about it is, guess what? We're going to have to clean up the mess.
Oh.
You feel me? We're going to have to clean up the mess. I'm going to just keep it real. They're going to be calling our phone, asking us for counsel and for help. And how they knew they shouldn't have been with that group. I knew I shouldn't have did this. I knew I shouldn't have did that. Like real talk. But that's what the Lord said. The Lord said you're going to get rooted up because you just blind leading other blind people. Like we already lost in this place. These people that took our whole identity.
Right.
And you going to sit out here and be playing with black people like that? You're going to just be playing around with their head like that, man. That's evil as hell. Like real talk.
And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
Right, that's what I said. They're going to fall flat on their face. The blind leading the blind, you're going to fall into a ditch. That's what the Bible says.
Right.
You're going to fall flat on your goddamn face. Real talk. And I hope it's a wake-up call. I hope it ain't too late. Hope your kids ain't destroyed and, you know, all that. By the time you figure it out that you in the wrong group. You following the wrong thing, the wrong religion, whatever, the YouTuber, I don't know. It's too many podcasters, you ask me. You feel me? It's too many podcasters. It's a little too many of you know, you feel me?
No, for real.
Every time I get on the internet, it's a new clip going viral of some podcast. Don't even know who these people is. You feel me? And they the blind leading the blind. Gonna lead everybody to a goddamn ditch. You feel me? Most of these podcasts, they ain't got no solution. They on that bitch just talking. Just talking, ain't got no answers. And that's why we take most of our clips. Most of the clips we do on our podcast is from other podcasts saying stupid shit. That's our bread and butter. Our bread and butter is finding a podcast that went viral and us breaking down how stupid they are. How stupid everybody in the video is. And then we give them the solution to it. Something they don't do.
God.
Like real talk. But yeah, you can drop that. Let's go to Matthew 23 and 31.
Like, so you said 23?
Con.
21. Come. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 21. And whoso shall swear by the temple, sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein.
Now, 23 and 31. Salaki.
Oh, slug. God's book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 31. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
Right, because what you got to understand, a lot of people say that they follow in Christ. What they say, I got a personal relationship with God.
Right.
Jesus know my heart. Or this the one that they kill me. I'm spiritual. That's what people say. You try to drop the truth on them, tell them the truth about the Bible, they're going to say, man, I'm spiritual. You feel me? I got my own personal relationship with God. Also, you believe in God and Jesus Christ. Oh, yes, I do. And this is what Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, saying out his own mouth. Out his own mouth, this is what he's saying about people today. People today that claim they know God, claim they know Jesus, claim they understand God and he understand them. Christ is saying out his own mouth, ye are the children of them which have killed the prophets. Because what you got to understand, most of the prophets was always killed or rejected by their own people. And it's happening right now today. We are rejected by our own people. Our own people reject us. You hear me? And they will say, oh, I got my own relationship with God and Jesus. They know my heart. When we just read, your heart is more desperately wicked. You hear me? We just read in Jeremiah, your heart is desperately wicked. You hear me? Who can know it? But now all of a sudden, God know your heart. Jesus know your heart. I don't think so. When people say that, they just basically saying God and Jesus ignores my sins. I can do whatever I want to do. They ignore my sins and I can do whatever the fuck I want. Because really, in reality, if you was around the time of the prophets, you would have killed the prophets. You would have been one of the people in the crowd saying, stone him, kill him, get rid of him, hang him.
Right.
All these people that say they spiritual and personal relationships and all this stuff. I'm on my spiritual journey. I'm on a spiritual path. All that stuff. Them is people that would have killed the prophets, man. Because they don't want to hear the truth. And they never wanted to hear the truth. Like real talk. You keep going.
So Slug, if I could, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's heavy what you're saying, like about the spiritual people and the ones that say I'm spiritual, them be the ones that say I'm on my spiritual journey. And them the ones that believe in all gods.
Mm-hmm.
Really. So what they really saying is they believe in anything that any religion believes in, and they don't know that they agreeing with Muslims marrying 9-year-old daughters.
Right.
You know what
That's
I'm
what I
saying?
say. When you agree with something like a president, like running for president, you agree with Trump, you agree with everything he believes. Even though a lot of people say they agree, they have voted for Trump because he was going to help them get more money.
Right.
He was going to cut taxes. But when you voted for him for that, you agree with everything else too.
Right.
So like you saying, it's heavy. If you agree with Islam, you agree with the molestations,
right,
the raping, the beating your woman, which is also in the Quran, how you could slap your woman in the mouth. You hear me? If you agree with Christianity, you agree with the pastors being homosexual and child molesters and adulterers and scammers, taking all your granny money, talking about they need a building fund when ain't nothing wrong with the building. Like real talk. Like, yeah, you agreeing with them religions and them beliefs, you agreeing with everything else they do, and that's why you filled with demons. If you thinking you filled with the spirit of the Lord, you filled with Satan. Like real talk.
Fill ye up. It's like fill ye up then the measure of your fathers.
Right. And that's what Christ saying. Well, you're gonna get what your fathers and them got.
Right.
The same thing your fathers and them got for killing the prophets. That's what you're gonna get. You hear me? You killing the Lord's prophets, you going against the Lord's prophets, what they telling you, well, you're gonna get the same reward your fathers got. And last time I checked, most people fathers was crackheads, junkies, alcoholics, in jail, dead. We suffer because of our sins. That's what happens. That's what's happening to us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We suffering because of our sins. And we don't think it's that simple. We thinking No, man, I should have went to college and I this and that. Man, none of these white people went to college that's running the country. They ain't go to college for 20 years to be in the positions they in. It's because they got handed down these positions because who their parents was. And we getting handed down problems because who our parents was. Our parents was in debt. We getting handed down debt, not credit. We ain't going into 19, 20 years old with an 800 credit score because our parents use our social to build our credit while we was in high school, not even knowing it. We getting handed down debt. You turn 18, your mama telling you to go to the aid office and file for link. You hear me? Go ahead, go get your Medicaid and file for some link. We getting had that is a curse. We suffering that because of our sins, though. Like real talk. The sins that we committed, that our fathers committed throughout generations. We suffering for it. We the product of it. Like we looking in the mirror like, damn, how did I end up like this? Because we had bad parents. You feel me? Grandparents. You feel me? They wasn't on the Lord's side. They was on the side of America. And America failed them, and it failed you. And now we gotta stop that with us. How do we stop that? Start keeping the commandments, and everything else gonna open up. I don't care what nobody say. You can say I'm selling you a dream. I don't give a damn. Start keeping the commandments, and everything else gonna open up. That don't mean you're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer, but your great grandson might, because of the decisions you making right now. Now your daughter or your granddaughter might be a doctor or a lawyer, might have a chance. Like real talk, you might be done. It might be over with for you. But now your seed can live on, and that's that everlasting life Christ promised us.
Right.
It's talking about reincarnation when you come back into the earth over again and again, that you're not a fucking crackhead or alcoholic on the corner, robbing niggas for money and shit, in jail for 100 years. That's not everlasting life. You feel me? Like real talk. I said you could drop that. Let's go to First Maccabees and Apocrypha 2 and 50.
Okay. It's First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 50. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's what the Bible say. Be ye zealous for the law. You feel me? That's what we got to do. We got to be zealous for the law, like real talk, and be ready to give our life for it if necessary. You feel me? If necessary, we supposed to be able to give our life for the law.
Okay.
You feel me? But we not. We ain't ready to give our life for the law. You feel me? We ready to give up the law to save our life. And that's why we keep ending up in this situation. You feel me? We're not showing no enthusiasm behind keeping the law. No energy behind keeping the law. You feel me? We ain't showing none. We ready to give up the law to save our life, that's what a coward do. You feel me? A coward, that's what a coward would do. Like real talk. And in the ISUPK under Commander Hunter, we know cowards, man. So we willing to give up our life for the law. And it ain't even always got to be physical. It could be spiritual. You feel me? It could be something that you don't want to lose, like your children, your job, your woman. You feel me? Your car, whatever, a friend. We willing to lose all that for the law. You feel me? Like real talk.
Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time.
Right. Call to act what our fathers did in their time. You feel me? We had real niggas in our family.
Right.
You feel me? We had righteous niggas in our family. And that's what we about to read about a few of them real quick. You go ahead. We're going all the way to 60.
Okay. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Right. When I just talked about that earlier, how all these names, people naming their kids, is based off our fathers.
Right.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Paul, Peter. They naming them off the Bible. Those names got famous because of them brothers. You feel me? And then the truth be told, they was named that because of other famous niggas in our family before them. You feel me? That's all Joshua mean. Joshua is the Hebrew translation into English. But Joshua is just Jesus. You feel me? It's Yahushua. You feel me? But if you translate it from the Greek, it's Jesus instead of Joshua. Like all these names is famous names from our family that we just pass down to our children. Like real talk. Like people that name their kid George, these white people that name their kid George is after George Washington. You feel me? Abraham Lincoln. Like real talk. They naming these kids after these famous white people that was in their family. Like real talk.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation?
Right. Abraham. That was the father of our faith. Abraham. Got a famous name. Anybody out there named Abraham, including Abraham Lincoln, anybody named Abraham, it came from our father of our faith, Abraham.
Right.
Then he got chose by the Most High after the flood, and through his sons, ended up becoming the 12 tribes of Israel, who we know today as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You feel me? And he was faithful. Abraham was faithful to the Lord. He was called the friend of God. That was what the Lord said about Abraham. He's the friend of God, like real talk.
And it was imputed unto him for righteousness.
Right. He was faithful in temptation. He was tempted like everybody else was, but he ain't fold. You go ahead.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
Right. Joseph. You feel me? That was one of the 12 tribes of Israel. You feel me? One of the 12 sons of Israel. He had 2 sons that he passed down his inheritance to, which was Ephraim and Manasseh. But he was the original forefather before he passed it down to them. And he saved Egypt. And because he saved Egypt, he was able to save Israel from famine, from dying.
Phinehas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
Right, Phineas. If I ain't mistaken, I think Phineas is the one that threw that javelin. I don't think it was either Phineas or Gideon. But one of the brothers in our family, he threw a spear because somebody was having sex with a Moabite, and he went in a tent and he killed both of them. He threw the spear right through both their body, and the Lord felt like it was just too, because he was zealous for the law. You feel me? He was zealous for the law of our fathers. And what's one of the laws of our fathers? No interracial dating.
Right.
Like real talk.
Yahushua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being
I told you, we got a lot of righteous niggas in our family. You feel me? Now this Jesus, for fulfilling the word, made a judge in Israel. This is not talking about Christ. This was another man named Jesus, because Christ wasn't the only man with that name. That was just a famous name from famous Israelites that did marvelous things throughout our generations.
Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land.
Right, now Caleb was from the tribe of Judah. You feel me? And what Caleb do? Caleb was one of the only men. Caleb and Joseph is the only men that was able to make it into the promised land. When we left out of Egypt, everybody that walked out of Egypt died before we got to the promised land. During the 40 years in the wilderness, they died off.
Right.
You feel me? Through different stuff, they just died off. And only people that was physically in slavery in Egypt that walked through the Red Sea was Caleb and Joseph. They're the only ones that made it into the promised land. And that's why you ever know anybody named Caleb? That's why, because of him. And he's a black man. He's not a white boy. He's a nigga.
Right. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom.
Right, David for being merciful. You feel me? David was a killer. He was a killer. He was a man after the Lord's own heart, but he was merciful because he loved his people. And he wanted his people to rule with him over all the heathens, like real talk.
Elias, for being zealous and fervent, for the law was taken up into heaven.
Right. And that's talking about Elijah. You feel me? Elijah, you feel me? He went against the prophets of Baal by himself. It was 450 on. He went up against them. You feel me? Because he was zealous for the law of his fathers. Real talk. He had angels, literally real angels protecting him because he was by himself, solo. You feel me? He ain't have 100,000 subscribers, 250,000 subscribers. Elijah was by his goddamn self, but he served the Lord. Real talk.
Ananias, Azarias, and Masil.
Right. Now, this is talking about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. You feel me? These was men during the time of the Babylonian captivity where they rebelled against the king of Babylon. You feel me? They rebelled against the king of Babylon and they got thrown in a fiery furnace. And because the Lord was with them and sent angels to protect them because they stood with the Lord instead of the king of Babylon, they didn't feel the fire. They didn't feel the flame, and the king of Babylon knew that the Lord was with them. Like real talk. And these is they Hebrew names. Because in Babylon, they had to get called by their Babylonian names. But these is their names in Hebrew translated into English. And and that's what happened with them. They were saved out of the flame.
So these are three men from the three holy children.
Yeah, what's their name? Shadrach and Abednego.
Okay.
But that's their Babylon name. Right. Yep, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That was their names in Babylon. Because when we was in these different captivities, they didn't want us to use our Hebrew names. Just like remember on Roots when they kept talking about he said his name was Kuta Kinte, and they kept making him say his name was Toby, hitting him with the whip.
Okay.
That's the heathen's nature. That's their culture. You feel me? To try to beat our culture up out of us so we can follow them and be like them. So they was going by the Babylonian names.
By believing, we're saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
Right, and also in that same time period, Daniel, was thrown in the lion's den, and the lions ain't do nothing to him because the Lord was with him. They didn't even try to attack him. Ain't pay him no attention. And the king of Babylon is wondering, like, what is going on? It's because these men is serving the Lord and they zealous for the law. Feel me? And that's what we got to be. We got to be zealous for the law. We got to be enthusiastic. You feel me? We got to show great energy towards the law and keeping the law, even though we in a country that don't even care if we do it or not. You feel me? But we got to treat it as if we eat this pork, we going to drop dead. Right. If we have sex with this white woman, we going to catch AIDS and die. That's how you got to look at the law. You can't look at it like, I probably could get away with it. That's the reason how we ended up in slavery throughout generations. Kept thinking, man, maybe I can just get away with it. Man, this one thing ain't going to hurt. Like real talk. I said you could drop that. Last scripture, let's go to Revelations 19 and 11.
Okay. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
Right. And this white horse, this is talking about Christ. You feel me? And the white horse is called a white horse because of the way the spirit is just moving. You feel me? Up and down, back and forth. And it's like a horse. You feel me? And what he did, he judged and made war. That's what Christ is doing. All this stuff is happening in the earth is because Christ is not coming back to kiss you in the mouth. Only a white man would want to be kissing everybody in the mouth anyway. That's why they all got herpes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad I ain't on TikTok. But yeah, this is a black man. And he's not coming back to kiss you in the mouth. He's coming back to judge you and make war. Christ won't war. Because he know that's the only way he's going to get peace. Is a lot of people have to die. I know everybody want to live forever, and I'm sorry. That's not the life you chose. You didn't choose to be a real nigga. You didn't choose to be righteous. You chose to be wicked. You hear me? So whatever happened to you, I mean, hey, what they say, you make your bed, you got to lay in it.
Right.
Like real talk.
His eyes were as a flame of fire.
Right. That's strike one. Because they in the picture they give us, he got blue eyes. You feel me? So first they lied about his spirit, about what he's really about. Then they lied about how he looked. Because he don't got blue eyes. They said his eyes was red.
Right. And on his head were many crowns.
Right. Now, why he got many crowns on his head? Because he the King of Kings. Ain't gonna be no United Nations when Christ come back. Every nation is gonna report to Israel. You feel me? Every nation is gonna ask Israel, is it okay to do this or to do that? You feel me? Every heathen nation is gonna be underneath our foot.
And he had a name written that no man knew, but he himself.
Right. He had a name that no man knew. Now how he got a name that don't nobody know? You feel me? The only way you can know what that means is you got to be black. Because only black people talk like that. Whenever somebody's messing up your reputation, what you say, man, you putting dirt on my name. You feel me? My name on the line. You feel me? That's how black people talk. Because it's a black man writing this. And he's talking about his reputation. Nobody knew his reputation. You feel me? Because everybody's thinking the opposite about Christ. They thinking because he's the son of God and all that he got to be coming for peace and tranquility. He can't be coming for war. Even though it's all through the Bible, nobody wants to believe it. That's why no man knew it but himself. If it wasn't for the ISUPK and the Commander Hunter, everybody would think Christ is coming back for peace and to hug you. If it wasn't for us, nobody would know his name. Nobody would know his mission and what's about to happen. Like real talk.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
Right there in the Bible. It's right there in the Bible that it say he was clothed with a vesture. That's some of this garment. They say his garment, you know how like you shoot somebody? Well, no, I ain't gonna say that. Man, feds watch. I mean, fresh tail at the feds watch. Drop top, head bottom. Looking at but for real, if you ever seen somebody like get shot or somebody shoot or whatever, blood spatter, it sprinkles. You feel me?
Yeah, right.
It ain't gonna like be like a whole bunch unless you hugging them, trying to carry them or something. But for the most part, it's just gonna sprinkle. You see somebody get cut with a knife, it's gonna sprinkle. It's not gonna be a gang of it on you. So he did so much killing that his garment was dipped, like it was dipped in blood. Like he took it off, threw it in a blood puddle, and just put it back on.
Right.
That's how much killing he gonna do. That's how much killing Christ gonna do when he come back for what happened to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. For what these people did to black people, Christ is coming back to kill so many people. It say his garment gonna be dipped in blood. Like real talk. And while you out there smoking and getting high and having lustful sex and commit adultery and all this evil shit, this is what's about to happen. And you don't see the writing on the wall. All this stuff going on, you still can't understand or comprehend what's about to happen. Like real talk, you go ahead.
And his name It's called the Word of God.
Right. And that's talking about Christ. Christ is the word of God. You feel me? He's the only begotten son. He's the favorite son. He's the one the Lord chose to be the king of the earth. Like real talk. And we the princes underneath him. We the princes underneath him that's going to rule right by his side. Like real talk. And don't nobody want that to happen. You feel me? They've been fighting against it since we was in the womb. Since we was in the womb, Jacob and Esau was fighting.
Right.
You feel me? Since the beginning of our nation, the whole earth has been trying to come up against us. You feel me? Because they can't fight God, literally. So their best bet is to fight the children of God, to destroy the children of God. That way they can have a kingdom for a little while. Like real talk. But all that's coming to an end. Yeah, but that's the end of tonight's class. Tune in every Monday, Tuesday. Tune in Wednesday night for the podcast. You feel me? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabbat Thumb. Yahweh Shema.